I still got a lot of confidence in Mike. Again, this market fascinates me in the sense that, he was anointed the next coming after one game, and now everyone wants to throw him away. Like, he deserves better than that. Mike White's a backup. Joe is just that veteran. One of the reasons why we went and got Joe is for the experience part of it, not only for the playing ability but for the room, but also for situations just like this. Miami's got a dynamic coverage system as it pertains to defense with zero and all the different coverages they run, and Joe's kind of been there, done that, and just kind of a steadying experience that we felt would put us in the best position to win.
A little bit of a 180 there from Robert Saleh on Monday. Mike White doesn't deserve to be thrown away. On Wednesday, we're throwing him away for Joe Flacco. Flacco's starting this weekend for the Jets. And it was weird, given how well Mike White played, the juxtaposition of that with trading for Joe Flacco. And Flacco wasn't even in uniform for a couple of games. They could have used him that Thursday night against the Colts, but he was not active for the game. And now he's going to be active. He's going to be the starter. I don't know that it's going to make much of a difference. I don't know why you don't give Mike White more reps.
Yeah.
Let him develop. Right. He doesn't have to be anointed, but it would be good to have a competent backup behind Zach Wilson moving forward.
Sure.
Chris, this gets, for me, back to the basic premise that dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. And as Joe Judge said a few weeks back, the fish stinks from the head down. He just was a little bit lower on his target as to where the head is. This, to me, is like so many other things that have gone wrong with the Jets in recent years. This is all flowing from ownership, and it would not surprise me if somewhat higher than Robert Saleh or Joe Douglas, this seed was planted to see what Joe Flacco can do, because we can't put Mike White back out there again after the way that he played on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm with you, a little surprised too. Again, Mike White, did some positive things. We know had that big comeback win against the Bengals. Yes, that was awesome. You said it right. Maybe you groom him just to be like a really awesome backup. Who knows? Maybe you groom him into something to where, he's that guy that a team trades for in a year or so. They go, well, we think, we got an injury at quarterback. We think he could come in and be our starter and do something for us. But I also think, Mike, what has to go into their logic, at least a little, if I try to put myself into the Jets' shoes, I would bet they're a little scared, a little bit, because they don't want to – they've had a lot of blowouts lately. They have. And I think even with this game with the Cincinnati Bengals, where he came back and did some really good things, and I know I've kind of been funny and negative on the Mike White thing, and it's not because of Mike White. It's because of the Jets fans. You know that. But, even with that game, the Bengals game where he came back, it was millimeters away from being a disaster there. It was almost a disaster. Yeah, there was the 2 early interceptions. There was another handful of plays that were also dropped interceptions by Cincinnati. So I think they had to probably look at that and go, wait, that was good, but man, we dodged a few bullets on that one. Then not maybe being, available, dependable against the Colts, took some big shots, certainly. You could see, hey, when you haven't played a lot, your clock as far as how close people are and, I'm going to try to throw this ball, but wait, that's not a good decision. Someone's bearing down on you, and you're not going to get it off, and you're going to get your arm hit as you're throwing the ball, or the ball's going to pop in the air. That probably scared them. And then even last week, again, the Bills' offense was not like a high-functioning machine early on, and I know they have a really good defense. I mean, the Bills started the game with their first 3 drives, on the Jets side of the field. And the Jets defense hung in there and held them to 10 points. But at the same time, as bad as last week was for the Jets offense, I think if anybody goes back and watches the film, he threw 4 interceptions. He could have thrown 7 or 8 easily. The Bills dropped 2 or 3 that hit them right in the chest. And I think they probably looked at it that way going, wait, we can't lose again 45-17 or have a huge meltdown against a team like the Dolphins where we're looked at as we should be somewhat equal. And that's where I think we goes back to what Saleh said as far as Joe Flacco. He's probably going, at least he'll understand where to go with the ball, get us in the right protections with all those crazy blitzes that we saw Dolphins kill the Ravens with last week, and maybe just that more of that calming influence.
And this is where the ownership dynamics do come into play. This isn't about getting Mike White reps and developing him to become a competent backup to Zach Wilson down the road. This is about New York billionaire Stephen Ross, who I believe wanted to buy the Jets when they were for sale.
Yeah.
And ended up buying the Dolphins. And so this is a little bit of that ego among oligarchs where Ross is bringing his team to his hometown, and he would love nothing more than to kick the crap out of the Jets. So Woody Johnson would love nothing more than to keep that from happening. So who gives us the best chance to win this game? Who gives us the best chance to win this game? And when you rattle it off the way you did, well, Joe Flacco gives us the better chance to win this game, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to pivot from Mike White to Joe Flacco. And meanwhile, is Zach Wilson healthy, but they're just protecting Zach Wilson from Zach Wilson and or the lack of talent around him?
Maybe. I would bet that's part of the reason of why, they're a little slow to throw him out there. I do believe that he's probably not 100%, but he's a rookie. He's certainly gone through his struggles, and they probably are like, wait, let's not rush anything. It's not worth it. He's the future still here for our football team. So let's just make sure he is totally 100%. And, hey, there'll be something for him to be learned from Joe Flacco as he's sitting here watching him prepare, how he goes about thinking about the game. And, oh, wait, okay, it's third down. The Dolphins do these crazy blitzes. Hey, in my years we did these type of things. Or my thought process was let's get the protection here and maybe you take advantage of that matchup. There's going to be some value there for Zach Wilson to learn from a guy like Joe Flacco, who's been there, done that, and seen a lot of different defenses. So, I think there is positives there, but I think, like to your point, they're certainly not going to rush Zach Wilson back right now because of the way the team's playing, and they want to make sure he's totally ready to go.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.